All right, guys, it is a cold and rainy day here in Houston. As you know, many of us are locked in our homes. So today I'm going to walk you guys through how I usually edit a video on Lumafusion, pretty much from start to finish. It's nothing special. It's just a clip that I had from one of the nights or days that I was out riding. So we're going to jump right into that. So you would just click on Lumafusion, open it up. And if you watch my previous video, you know that I'd already created an intro and an outro, and I have a blank in between. So the blank allows us to be able to just drop in footage in that placement. If you guys are interested in me showing you how I created the intro and outro, I'd be more than happy to do a video like that. Just leave it down in the comments. But for now, let's just get right into it. So I'd go to File. Here's my clip. It is 4.1 gigs. So we're just going to choose that. It'll bring it right in. I can take a look at it. I can hit play. So this is a lot of footage here, me just riding around. This is coming off of my front camera, which is the one that's mounted on my bike. So I can scrub through here and look for, different clips. Generally what I do, if I'm not going to be talking over the video and it's just going to be me riding, or guys can use something like this if you got a group ride going on and the person who's recording is up front or in the middle where you can, wide-angly capture, quite a bit of the footage. You can just go with something like this. So right here, I'm gonna keep it short. So we're gonna bring this in about, 4 minutes, something like that. And then we'll just kind of start working from there. So we're at 4 minutes and 49 seconds or something along that. So we're just going to bring that in and we're going to drop it right on our blank. And we're going to use new clip duration. And now that clip is there. So here's the intro. It drops right into the clip. And then we can kind of go from there, right? So if I press play on here. So now your clip is playing. So if you want to control your timeline a little bit, you can just pinch right in. You can just pinch in and then draw it in a little bit better so you can see the entire clip if that's what you need while you're editing. So I'm going to do that for you guys so you get a better idea of what's going on. And then obviously at the end here is the outro. So if we go all the way out, there's going to be our outro. So generally what I would do is I would look at this clip and I don't want just, static writing or something like this. So I would go in every few seconds or something along the line of that, and I would just make a cut. But before we do that, what I want to do is I want to go in here and make some adjustments to the video itself. So I'm going to double tap on that video clip, and I'm going to come over here on the bottom row to the last icon, and I'm going to click on Color and Effects. I'm going to go to Original, and we have our levels here at the top: brightness, contrast, saturation, vibrance. Then we have, shadows, highlight amount, shadow amount, and then you can also play with some of your colors. You can also do a white balance. So if you wanted to look at your tint, you could click on this little eyedropper, and you could go in and then, adjust your tint, the saturation or something like that. It just depends on, if you want to go for some really cool effects, you can play with that. But I don't recommend doing that. So let's just put that back to neutral and then go from there. So let's go back up to our brightness. So I'm just going to increase the brightness just a touch, just to open up those shadows. And I'm going to add just a little bit of contrast, not much, not very much. And I'm going to pump up the vibrance a little bit, the saturation, and then I'm going to come in and touch up on the vibrance just to make it a little bit more vibrant in the footage. And you can see that here. It may even be a little bit too vibrant, so I'm going to bring the saturation back down some. And generally for more cinematic looks, you'd actually want your saturation to be, more muted. So something more like akin to this, because that's more natural, what the eye sees. So let's just go with that for today. So the next thing that we would probably look at would be our audio, but I think since we're not talking, audio is not going to be a factor. So we can just listen, to the normal sounds the bike would produce, the wind going by, things like that. So that's not going to be an issue. So to try and keep this interesting, usually what I do is I pick a point and I just tap on the little scissors and I make a cut. Then I scroll forward a little bit, and I usually always try to get past the points where I'm just sitting, and I find another point and I make a cut. And I scroll a little further. That's good about right there. I make a cut. And I just kind of go through here and I make these cuts until I'm kind of happy with it. I know this larger section here, because that's where I'm sitting. I'm going to just tap on that once, hit the delete, and I'm going to get rid of that. So we got this one here, a little bit of transitioning. So you're going from one spot to another. All in all, you got about a 2-second clip. That's still a little long if you're going to be planning on using this on, something like Instagram. If you're not going to put it on IGTV, if you're just going to post it on Instagram, you can do that. But I'm going to show you guys a couple of things that you can do. So you can tap on a clip and you can bring that in, and another one, and bring it in just to shorten the footage up a little bit, because you're trying to get it to right about 1 minute or slightly under 1 minute, so that it will play on Instagram without you losing too much of your footage. So right now there I'm at 1 minute and 16 seconds. That's still too long, so I'm going to come back in and bring that in just a little bit more, and that'll bring me up to, I'm still a little long, so we're going to bring that in some more. That's 1 minute and 9 seconds, still too much. A little bit more. Okay, let's zoom in here and see exactly what we're looking at so we know what we're doing. I'm going to draw this one in. And that puts us right under the 1 minute mark. That gives us 38 seconds, so that's pretty good. So the next thing I usually do is I would add some type of audio music track, just depending on what you want to go with. Now, if you're using Lumafusion, you have some cool features that you can go with. You have built-in story blocks. So you could click on story blocks and you could go in and look at your music. Now, a lot of this is going to be paid, but there are a few audio clips that you can use for free. And also, another thing that you can do is you can download a ton of the free audio clips from YouTube, because they're free to use on YouTube. But I have read that you're not supposed to use those audio clips on other platforms, but just so you know that. But you could pick an audio clip and you can play it from here and just give it a listen and see if there's something that you like. It takes a few seconds for it to download, so if you see the little spinning clock up there, it's just letting you know it's downloading. Yeah, both of those are boring, but But all the ones that are free, you'll see them here, they'll be listed as free. Yeah, that's not really my style, but we're going to go with that for today just because it's here and we don't want to make this any longer than it has to be. So if you look down here and you see these little serrated lines, what that means is it is still downloading the clip, but it will play. So while that clip is highlighted, I can go right here on that clip and make a cut and then delete the part that I don't want. So now what I have is that audio will be underneath my video playing in the background. But what you don't want is this audio to be so loud that it drowns out the natural sounds of the environment or the bike or something like that. So I would double tap on one of the clips and I would go back into our audio settings, and under configuration, I would choose master. okay? So now what's going to happen is the motorcycle, the wind, and everything else is going to take priority over the audio that's playing underneath it. So let's see here. We can go here, and we're going to click copy, and we're going to come back out, and we're going to go to each and every clip, and we're just going to paste. And hit paste, okay? So just to verify that that did take, so we're going to double tap on the last one. We're going to go back into audio and look under configuration. And as you see here, it is now set as master, right? So then we can go to our music clip, double tap on it, go into configuration, and it should already be set to to auto. So when you're looking under here, now this is called ducking. That means it's going to duck underneath the audio that's coming from the master clip. So if you had vocals, if you were talking here, this would duck right underneath it. So we have that, and we say, okay, I like the clip, everything looks great, and maybe you want to add a title or something like that. So you can tap on this little thing here that looks like a whatever area you're in. So on titles, you'll see a T. For transitions, you will see, let's see, where's our transitions? So we click on transitions, you see this little icon. So there's a different icon for each one of these. So if you're going to import something new, or you're going to bring in a file or a photo or whatever the case would be, you could do it right here. Now, what's cool about this app, depending on your device, you can have 6 video clips stacked on top of each other, which means 6 tracks of video. And then you can have 6 tracks of audio if you were, doing a really, really advanced type of production. But for most of the basic stuff, guys, we're going to be using, when we go out for a ride and we just want to show people what's going on, this is, the basics that we're going to be using, right? So if you want to use transitions, you're more than welcome to use transitions. But usually what I do here is I will just use a very, very simple title. So you click on titles. You have a number of different titles you can choose from. They're all right here. You can also customize these. So if I picked the plain white title, I could just drag that in, and there's my title, right? So different than iMovie and some of the other applications, your title's not locked. So you can tap on your title and you can move it wherever you want to, any place you want to put your title. Then you can also change the font. You can download custom fonts if you want to do that. It just depends on what exactly it is that you're producing. So let's say if we went with something like that, and maybe we wanted to add a little lines around it just so you can see it a little bit better. You can increase the size. You can rotate it. So you can do whatever you want to, So I'll just, do something really, really simple. So we'll double tap on that, and you'll see a window pop up. You can just delete that text, and then from there you can go in and say, whatever you want to. Let's just stick with, get in the wind. And there we go. We got our title. There it is. So now we just click on the back button, and now our title is going to appear. Now, what you can do, and I do this a lot sometimes when I just want the title to be more dramatic, I'll go back to my transitions, and I will choose a simple transition, just to bring the title in with a little bit more flair, right? So let's say we're going to do a push in or a wipe from the right. You just drag it on top of the title. Let's zoom in so we can see exactly what that looks like. So now we have that wipe there. It's going to wipe in. And then if we go to the other side, let's say we want it to, slide to the right when it goes out as an example. So we just drag that on top. And now when it goes out, it's going to slide to the right, camera right. So, or if you don't like that one, you could just remove it, and then you could pick something different. Maybe you want it to slide down, so you could choose that. And you're just adding it to the very end of the title, like so. So there it goes, slides off. Or you could just leave nothing, and then it will just disappear on its own. It'll just fade away, okay? So we have that. So we have our intro, our clips, we have our audio, and we're going to play this just a little bit just to see what it sounds like, right? So this audio my intro has audio, so I want to take this audio clip and I want to drag it in to where the writing starts, but the outro audio ends. So we'll do that about right there. So we'll start with that, hit play. You can hear the audio playing in the background, and just like in the previous video, this is your audio track, so you can always increase that just a touch. So I'm going to bring that up to about a positive +5, and we're going to play. That works. So that's a very simple way to create a short clip. If you're going to be using it, again, like I said, for Instagram, or you're going to maybe use this for, excuse me, or Facebook or whatever it is. So let's look at something else that's very unique to this application. And again, I'm coming from utilizing a MacBook. I have an iMac, which are very, very powerful computers, and they process, real time. So no, I take that back. They do not process real time. It takes a long time to render files on them. So we're going to just save this. Remember, this is 4K footage. We're going to save this. I'm going to save this as 4K, 24 frames a second. We're going to do 100 megabits. We can go up. Let's just go to the extreme. Let's do 150 megabits for this clip. And I may fast forward this a little bit, so you guys don't sit here for the entire time watching it. But I just want you to see just how efficient this program is when it comes to editing, outputting this footage, right? So I'm just going to hit share. So I see that we have 58 seconds, 0.04. That's how long the video clip is. So right now, this is rendering this footage almost in real time, and it may even be a little bit faster than real time. So right now we're at 33, 34, 36, 37 seconds, and we're rendering, and we'll be really close. Let's see what we get to actual real time. Almost exactly real time. So that clip is now rendered. So I can go out here, go into my photo app, or into my, let's say we go into my photo app and we go to photos, and here's that clip. Now I can share this to Instagram, to Facebook, to YouTube, wherever I want to put it. It's there, it's ready. And this will work just as efficiently on your iPhone. Of course, the screen's going to be smaller. You're going to be working with a smaller canvas, to get your project out, but it's there. So you can definitely make this happen, guys. So that's the end of this video. I'm going to bring it to an end here, and I will be doing some more videos on this, with a little bit more advanced features. I plan on in maybe a week or so to really focus in on some of the audio stuff, things that you would need if you were doing a lot of talkovers. And, one of the problems that we have when we're riding in our, our helmets, and we have the GoPro attached to it and our little cheap microphones, that we get a lot of wind noise. So there are a couple of built-in features that can help us combat the wind noise, and try and bring that down to a manageable level, as well as there are other applications, and including GarageBand that comes free on most iOS devices, that you can use to correct some of the audio sounds. So guys, until then, it's your boy Rome. I will catch you guys in the next video. Thank you for riding. Peace. I'm out.